Joining us today on this episode of Emo Brown Presents Made in Chula Vista, it's a local hero, a lifetime Chula Vista resident, born and raised. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're joined here today by Chief Battalion for the Chula Vista Fire Department, Station Number 1, Darrell Roberts. What does Chula Vista mean to you, my man?
Yeah, Chula Vista to me, it's home and it's family. I spent my entire life here in the city of Chula Vista, born and raised. I actually grew up on Chula Vista Street in Woodlawn, 694 Chula Vista Street to be exact. Went to Feaster Elementary, Chula Middle, Chula High, and then obviously our Harvard on the Hill Southwestern College. The last 30 years have been, every single day, a part of my life has been the fire service. And I just feel blessed to work in the same neighborhood where I grew up in, the same neighborhood where I've had all my highs and lows, and I get to serve as a firefighter, and it's just been an absolute blessing. I can't believe it's already been 30 years. It's wild to me. It's odd when I would travel up and down the state, or even with the International Association of Firefighters, we'd have conventions, and they say, "Hey, Darrell, where are you from?" And initially, some people want to say because you don't know if they're from out of state, you'd say, "Oh, San Diego." I would always say Chula Vista,
As you should.
and a little chip on my shoulder when they say, "Oh, where's that?" Well, it's in the southern end of San Diego County, because we're Chula Vista proud. It's something that I think we're very fortunate to live in a community where we probably doubled in size in the last 2 decades, where we were about 100,000 people, and now we're pushing 300,000. But we've got to see I would say the growth of our city, but we still have that small town feel. Like, I was stoked when you guys were opening up your business. It was like, finally, 3rd Avenue. We used to run 3rd Avenue as kids up and down the street. And we're able to see our neighborhood really change for the better. In a way, we're getting a little more sophisticated.
Go ahead.
And it's nice going from a small city to a large city. I mean, we're one of the largest cities in the state of California.
What started your career in the fire department? How did it start?
Yeah, it was interesting. I was actually pumping gas at 3rd and L, and there was a firefighter that came in, and he showed up in his old Jeep, and he had his turnouts in the back, and he was in his dress uniform, so he had his badge on. And I started kind of rapping out with him, going, "Hey, what do you do?" He said, "Oh, I'm back. Oh, you're a firefighter. Where do you work?" "I work at Fire Station Number 5 and 4th and Oxford." I said, "Well, what'd you have to do to become a firefighter?" He's like, "Oh, man, you got to go to school. You got to do X, Y, Z." At the time, he's emergency medical technician. You got to join a fire academy and then take the test. I said, "Well, I think I was just a sophomore in high school at the time. Well, can I go down tomorrow and get in?" He's like, "No, man, you got to be at least 18 years old. You got to graduate high school." And he goes, "But there is an Explorer program, and it's from ages 16 to 21. He goes, "And I think that might be a right fit for you. So why don't you go down, talk to this time," at the time it was Battalion Chief Darrell Roberts out of Station 1, and hit him up, see if there's any spots for you." So I would start there. So next morning, I showed up. And the battalion chief told me, he's like, "No, we don't have any room right now." I said, "I'll be back tomorrow." And I literally came back tomorrow. He wasn't working, so I came back the following day. And I kept just knocking on the doors until they let me in. And that's when it started.
You mentioned that you are a battalion chief.
Sure.
How does that fall on the scale of the hierarchy?
I have the responsibility of all of Western Chula Vista and the eastern side too. But any large-scale incident, I would ultimately take command and control of the situation. We can deploy all the way to the international border.
Really?
And we obviously can deploy anywhere in the state. When there's major campaign fires, our position takes out what's considered a strike team leader, and you're going to take 5 engines from around the zone, and you go to an area where it needs our help. That's where a lot of our folks are at right now. Every day is different, and that's one of the kind of the attractive portions of our job. Is every single day is different. You never know what, you come in and you think, okay, I got maybe a meeting, or I'm going to do this training, and the next thing you know, you're at a shipboard fire, or at a high-rise fire in downtown San Diego, or a multi-alarm fire in the city. You just never know.
How do you handle that pressure, that responsibility of being the top dog?
It's a blessing, but I don't take it lightly. Lives are on the line every single day. We don't, nothing's lost on that. Ultimately, our mission is to save lives, environment, and property, right? We take every single incident like it could be our last. A lot of what we do is emergency medicine, and that's about 80% of our calls. So our folks that are running 911 calls every single day, whether it's delivering a baby, traffic accidents, we've had some pretty horrific accidents as of late, we're there at their worst times and also at their best times, right? It's amazing to deliver a baby and hand that baby off to the mother and the family, and the crews are sitting there taking photos, and you get them ready, you take them to the hospital, and they come back a week later and show you the baby. Beautiful, beautiful time, awesome. Or when we bring somebody back to life. We literally have been there and somebody's loved ones laying in a Chula Vista apartment, and we're doing everything we can to save their life. And then a week later, they come by and go, "Hey, we just want to thank you." Those are beautiful times, but it's also difficult when you are not successful. And those are tough. Those are really, really tough.
Give me some of your achievements, some of your personal accomplishments that you're proud of.
One of the biggest ones, I think, professionally, has been putting the fourth firefighter on the engine. Our firefighters are very busy. Our Engine 51, which serves a neighborhood that both you and I live in, is one of the busiest engine companies in the nation.
Is it really?
Yeah, everybody says the same thing. Is it really?
How does that work?
Well, I mean, you think of obviously New York and LA and Chicago and Detroit, all these large municipalities that are running, companies that are running thousands of calls. Our Engine 51 ranked number 7 in the nation, and historically has run, thousands of calls each day. So they were doing it with 3 for my entire career up until 2018.
What have you noticed change in Chula Vista in this 3 decades that you've been in service to the city?
More and more people are needing our services every single day. And a lot of it is medical in nature. But there's a lot of risk that's out there right now. We just started a fuels crew within the fire departments trying to mitigate. You see a lot of brush that's built up in certain areas, right? So that's kind of concerning for our folks that a lot of our just the other night they had a homeless encampment fire, which 20 years ago we're probably not going to those as often, and it seems like our guys and girls going to them every single day. And we've had firefighters in the state that have come across grenades that were exploding while they're fighting fire in a homeless encampment area.
What?
Yeah, it's just wild things.
What are your goals in these positions? What is the objective?
Yeah, ultimately it's to advocate for our firefighters and the communities that we serve. We want to make sure that the men and women that are out there risking their lives have the tool and resources they need. And to do that, you have to be involved in politics. There's just no other way around it. Ultimately, how many fire engines that show up, how many fire stations that are built, your pay and benefits are decided by an elected leader somewhere. It's our best interest to make sure that we are educating them on what our needs are. And that is our goal, period. Because cancer's killing our firefighters. It's one of the leading causes. So if we're not having conversations with the elected at the highest level, meaning the state capitol, on making sure that we have a presumptive, if one of our firefighters get cancer, we want to make sure that they're getting taken care of. After 30 years of serving, and then getting a cancer diagnosis, we would hope that the elected leaders would be there for our people. And so that's what we want to make sure, because I think our men and women are worth it. If you're going to go risk your life for people you don't know, there should be people in rooms fighting for you, that even if you know nothing about it. And that's what I'm tasked with.
What do you think your legacy is going to be? What is Darrell Roberts' legacy going to end up being here in Chula Vista?
I would hope it would be a champion of our community, somebody that's would love to put Chula Vista on the map, and I don't say that lightly. I'm very proud of the neighborhood where I grew up in, and the people that have supported me to get where I'm at today. But somebody that fought for the men and women of this fire department also, and really wanted to make sure that we had a safe community.